Welcome everyone to True Real Estate Horror Stories. I am your host, Mike McNamara, and I have the pleasure of sitting next to Nick Giorgi.
Hello everyone.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the industry, the type of production you're doing, just so people get to know you a little bit.
All right, so I have been in the real estate industry now going on just 3 years. I'm in the top 2% of realtors throughout the Las Vegas Valley. Last year I closed about 38 deals, and this year I am already on track to go above that.
So you are crushing it as I would say, somewhat newer agent.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Absolutely.
Well, doing that many transactions definitely means that you're going to come across some issues in deals and learning lessons. So what do you got for us?
So today, so for the horror story that we have for today, I had a client at one point that we went out to go view properties.
What price point of properties? What?
So the property was a condo. It was about like $220,000, and it was located near the airport.
Okay. Is it rehab style or is it walk-in, move-in?
No, it was a rehab. Oh yeah, rehab. Okay. So it needed to be completely overhauled and redone.
Cool. And is this an investor that you're dealing with, or?
It was an investor that I was with.
Cool. Awesome.
But yeah, so we went into this day. We'd probably gone out and viewed about 3 or 4 properties, and on the 4th or 5th one that we went in to go and view, we could hear music as we were walking up, and where the condo was located, it was kind of strange that we were hearing music. And I just kind of cautioned her. I said, "Hey, beware! Like, this doesn't seem right. Like, maybe we shouldn't be going in here right now." But we knocked, we got no response, and there was like an upstairs neighbor to it, so we just kind of thought, oh, okay, well, maybe like it's just the neighbor playing music and whatever, so we just proceeded with caution. The property was supposed to be a vacant property. When we walked in, there was like random pieces of furniture. There was like a folding chair, there was a couple boxes sitting there.
Was it locked?
No, it was locked.
It was locked.
Yes,
okay.
The front door was locked.
Okay.
So, and you couldn't see the patio from when you walked up to the front, and that was, well, we'll get to that, I guess.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
We walked in and we saw that there was a box with a couple clothes, and they were kind of like hanging out of it. Like you could tell like somebody had like rummaged through it, almost kind of thing. And then we get to the kitchen area, and I see the sliding door from there because the sliding door was off the kitchen, and it was just barely cracked, and I was like, somebody's in here somewhere. Yeah. Like immediately I just knew
that
it.
Feeling.
And I said that, and my investor was like, I want to still view this house, because I told her, I said, I think we should leave, and like she was like, no, I want to view this house.
Is this your first property purchasing with this investor?
This was.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So she was like, no, I'm going to view it. So then we come out of the kitchen and we walk around, but you walk through like a little hallway, but in this hallway was the laundry area. Well, the laundry area would just happen to be covered by a curtain, not doors or anything of that nature. So my client, to give you a little bit of background, was actually a security guard for one of the casinos here.
Okay.
So she's actually just gotten off work, and she has her CCW, which is her concealed carry.
She's carrying.
So she was carrying. Yeah. So all of a sudden...
Did you know she was carrying?
I actually didn't, but I felt that she would, and like with a CCW, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. So I didn't really think twice about it or anything of that nature.
Yep.
So she catches out of the corner of the eye because she's walking down the hallway first, and she sees through the curtain that there's somebody sitting on top of the washer and dryer. All of a sudden, she turns so quickly and swooshes open the curtains on the thing. And the girl jumps off, so it was a girl that was squatting in the house, jumps off the thing in front of her, and she just grabs her. She goes, I don't know what you're doing here, but you're getting out of this house right now.
This is crazy.
I just literally went and opened the door.
She's lucky
and
that
I was
wasn't a homeowner or somebody, even though the expectation is it's vacant or whatever, what if it was just a homeowner that was there? Or,
right. Oh, absolutely.
That is crazy. Okay.
Absolutely. So... But needless to say, so across from this hallway, it became very evident that it was a squatter.
Yeah.
The girl that was in the house actually had a bunch of knives laying out. So in a weird way, we kind of got lucky that we caught her where she did, because it actually could have been a much different turnout on the situation.
Yeah.
And the girl was just scared. She didn't know. She was young, and probably kicked out of her house or something of that nature. And but yeah, my client,
there's a lot. We're stepping into that industry a little bit because there's a lot of people that are struggling and getting rents are going up, housing market's going up, And so you're seeing, well, right now it's kind of is where it is, but you're seeing a lot more people struggle. And so this is probably going to become more common as we move forward over the next year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, wasn't my first time of dealing with a squatter. I had a commercial listing that I probably go over once a week and kick out squatters.
Yep.
But at the same token, though, like this one was like the most front-faced, like, whoa, you're like now in the hands of my client.
Yeah.
And, at that point, though, I had to make a decision internally because, again, I didn't really know this client very well. And, for the safety of myself and for the safety of others, like you mentioned,
Absolutely.
like, how am I going to proceed with this? And unfortunately, it did land in a position where I made the conscious decision that I can't work with you if you can't abide by what I'm saying when I told you let's leave this property
Correct.
a couple of times and you don't want to because you want to
That client's a
continue to
liability.
Yes.
Just became a liability. Now, did she
100%.
pull out her gun when...
So she got her out of the house and then she stood in the doorway and pulled it out and said, I suggest that you don't come back. Here's what she's like yelling at the girls. The girls like running down the street.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. And I think for agents that are new to the business, the one really hard thing is to drop that client. You know what I mean? Because when you're new in the business, and most people that are 2 years in are not doing 38 deals.
Yeah.
They're doing 5 to 10 deals. And so that client is so important to them, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And so, yeah, at the same time, the importance of dropping that client and the learning lesson of getting rid of that client, the type of liability that client brings you as a new agent is not worth the money.
No.
And so I think you did the perfect thing in regard. I would have done the same thing. I would have dropped it, because if they're not going to listen to you in that situation, the question is going to be, are they going to listen to you when you do the inspection? Are they going to listen to you throughout the entire transaction and trust you to guide them through this so it's a smooth transaction? So I think you did a great job.
Yeah, 100%.
Is there anything that you do different in your business when dealing with an investor? Is there from this experience, or?
Yes. In that sense, I definitely take a little bit more time with them to really find out exactly what they're looking for. Because in what I learned after the fact was, what did they really want? What did they, she had me looking at single family, condos, townhouses, like
All
there was
over
no,
the place.
yes, versus now I'm like, okay, what is it specifically that you want? What is your direct criteria? So it was definitely a learning experience for myself in multiple facets.
Cool. I love it, man. I think that's a great story. I have one last question.
Yeah.
And I ask everybody this. Is there a book that you read in your first years of real estate that have really helped you out?
Yes, actually, and I know for a fact that you've read it as well. It was actually The Go-Giver. I read it prior to doing the Nevada State Leadership Program, which we had done together. But I had done that prior, and it just changed my mindset, and it changed my outlook on how to be of more value and benefit to people, and to give more of myself than
And you really do
receive.
that. I mean, and I've told you about this. Like, I've been in the industry for, I think, 16 years now, and I've stayed very far away from the division versus everything. And you've done kind of the opposite, and you've already put your foot forward on wanting to educate, wanting to teach people. And so I think it's something that I'm starting to get more into now as running a team. But I think it's a great skill that you're picking up in the very beginning. So I think that's awesome.
No, I definitely enjoy it. It's, my biggest goal for myself this year is to give more than I receive and to leave people better than when I had found them initially.
I love that. Let's leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have a true real estate horror story, reach out to us. We'd love to have you on. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome.